Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. So on today's video, I am going to cover 10 really strong assets that I have already added to my portfolio. I am sitting on gains kuch mein, and I feel that these 10 assets that I'm going to speak about, they are going to give exceptional returns in the next 10 to 15 years. So this is going to be a fairly important video. All of it, whatever I'm going to teach you, it will be a combination of stocks, alternate asset classes, real estate, सब कुछ combine करके बताऊंगा. You will love the experience. Please watch it till the very end. That's my humble request. Please watch it with an open mind. क्योंकि whenever we have to make money, we have to take contrarian bets. A classic case study is Zomato. मैं last year बात करता था Zomato की. Today I am sitting on 100% gains on Zomato stock. तब बहुत खिल्ली उड़ती थी कि Zomato में नहीं बनेगा वैसा ये वो. भाई you have to have little bit of courage, contrarian view process, some kind of vision with certain investments that you are making. So I will explain you entire logic with it. I will try to be a little bit quick. And also, when we are talking about really strong assets, we also have to consider our skill as an asset, which brings me to the sponsors of today's video, which is Growth School. Now, Growth School is an online learning platform and they can help you learn more about AI and ChatGPT. AI and ChatGPT are defining the next leg of revolution in the entire tech market. Whether you are a tech or non-tech professional in sales, marketing, HR operations, or even a founder or freelancer, whoever you are, ChatGPT and AI is going to impact your work. So I would highly encourage you to learn it. Now you can learn it by going to Growth School. Now usually they offer a paid workshop, but for my viewers, they will do this workshop absolutely free of cost. This offer is only applicable to first 1000 participants. So definitely go and check out the links in the description and comment box. More than 1 million people have taken this workshop across the globe and have created their personal AI assistant that can do all the tasks 10x faster and with precision. Additionally, you can use AI on everyday basis to study market trend analysis, generate financial reports, make PPTs in just 5 minutes and simplify complex problems. So given its wide applicability, definitely consider checking out this workshop. You can find the links in the description and comment box. Okay, so the first asset that I'm going to speak about are turnaround finance stocks. जैसे आपने आज देखा होगा market में that HDFC Bank moved up by 3%. In fact, in the last 4-5 days, it has gone up by 5-6%, which is very strong. And इसमें if you end up picking small cap companies like Ujjivan Small Finance या Aavas Financiers, they are turnaround stocks right now. In fact, मैंने Ujjivan Small Finance में 3 दिन पहले, right, literally like 3-4 days पहले, I gave some commentary on my YouTube member community section. And since then, the stock has gone up by 15-16%. Not kidding. There is a post, you can go check it out. So okay, let me quickly explain and I will quickly cover both Aavas and Ujjivan Small Finance. So आप देख सकते हो कि if we look at the price tab, what you will notice is that see, there was a very clear trend line of this stock falling. So it was falling like this, and now maybe it will consolidate or maybe it will go up like this. So this might be a V-shaped recovery that could happen from there. मेरे हिसाब से downturn has been complete, right? So there is good aggregation that is happening on this stock, and now the stock can go up. Then comes a natural question that how much will it go up by and why will it go up? Okay, यार मैं बहुत ज़्यादा fundamentals में नहीं आता, otherwise it will take a lot of time. This is going to be a broad video, so मैं लेकिन आपको तब भी मोटे points बता देता हूँ. देखो, revenues is going up, no problem there. Profits is highest ever profitability. Growth rate में कोई issue नहीं है. So to cut the long story short, I don't see a reason why it should not achieve its previous high, which is of roughly 3068. अभी कितने पे? It's almost 1452. There is almost 100% gain to be made on something like Aavas Financiers. Now yes, it could happen that it might take maybe 2 years, maybe 3 years, but even if आप 4 साल पकड़ के चलो, then also your CAGR on this stock is 23, right? 23-24 के आसपास पड़ेगा. So this is a solid bet. So I am definitely adding. मैं आपको एक और एग्जांपल बता देता हूँ जीवन स्मॉल फाइनेंस का. इनफैक्ट मैंने वीडियो भी बनाई थी, लास्ट वीडियो प्लीज देखिएगा. सो आपको क्लियरली पता चलेगा कि यार दिस इज अ रिवर्स हेड एंड शोल्डर, राइट? ये वाले पैटर्न को रिवर्स हेड एंड शोल्डर बोलते हैं. इसमें टेक्निकल टारगेट निकल के आता है अराउंड 200. राइट नाउ द स्टॉक इज एट 54. दिस इज ऑलमोस्ट अ 4x गेन विच इज सिटिंग. Now, as long as you have confidence, as long as you understand that, okay, there is risk, what type of risks, you can monitor that risk and take calculated bets, understand how to cultivate a portfolio. These are definite money makers, so to say. Now, this is not a stock recommendation कि आप खरीद लो जाके बेच दो, all that stuff. नहीं, I am teaching you fundamental stuff. You have to study this further. Okay, if you feel that I can be of help, please consider joining my member community. I keep on saying that I explain a lot of fundamental points. आपका confidence बनेगा. Try करके देख लो for 2-3 months. You yourself will get that courage. So, to cut the long story short, I feel that finance finance stocks in general are very, very solid. Most of my portfolio in Indian stock market is in finance. I am betting big on banks. They are already started to give run up, and मुझे लगता है कि something like Ujjivan, Aavas and a bunch of other stocks are going to give excellent run up in the coming few months maybe. So okay, so this is first asset type. The second asset type that I'm going to speak about are tech stocks. Now see, what type of tech stocks? In India, a lot of points are being spoken about कि IT बढ़ेगी कि नहीं बढ़ेगी. यार देखो, IIT बॉम्बे में almost 36-37% class has not been placed. Situation in India doesn't seem very nice because India is a सर्विस ड्रिवन टेक मार्केट. फॉर एग्जाम्पल आप इन्फोसिस के एग्जाम्पल पकड़ के चलो, देन व्हाट टाइप ऑफ कंपनी इज इन्फोसिस? वन कुड आर्ग्यू दैट ओके इट्स अ टेक कंपनी. Yeah, I don't think it's a front-end tech, it's a back-end tech, which has been built on inexpensive manpower. यही है उसकी reality. I'm just telling you straight, right, no nonsense way में. So this is what the situation is, that India में front-end tech is not there, there is back-end tech. With the evolution of AI, artificial intelligence, I feel that the Indian market, unless it evolves, unless it starts experimenting on newer technology, it is not going to create massive revolution. I'm sorry to say that, I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but this is what I genuinely feel. And ये दिख भी रहा है. So in India, what kind of companies you can pick thinking of tech? So one should pick tech plus ops based company. Now मैं एक example से बताता हूँ. Again, Zomato. So Zomato is what type of company? You will say that okay, it's a tech company. Why? No, it's an ops company basically. They have sorted out their delivery partner or delivery network really, really well. वो खाना पकड़ते हैं, भेज देते हैं from point A to point B, and they are doing it at a very effective price point now, and therefore they are becoming profitable. Yes, the underlying is tech. Ola hasn't been able to do that, so it hasn't been profitable from that angle. So to cut the long story short, in India it's not a pure tech play, it's a tech plus ops play. So if you can see these type of companies, then you can definitely make money on these type of businesses. Therefore my bet still remains Zomato. I am not selling Zomato, I am holding it. I see the stock going 3x 4x easily over the next 10 years as it becomes market leader. I am also quite excited to invest in Swiggy. I'll make an IPO video. Swiggy आने वाला है अपने IPO के साथ. So I will analyze that and let you know. But अब हो ये गया है कि because Zomato has given 100% run up in the last 1.5 years, so थोड़ा सा संभल के खरीदेगा. Build your position slowly and sensibly. So this is point 2. अब चलते हैं अगले asset class की तरफ, which are villas. बहुत से लोग मेरे पीछे पड़ जाते हैं कि अक्षत, you know what, you talk about real estate and real estate खरीदना चाहिए, घर खरीदना चाहिए, commercial real estate. No guys, I mean honestly you need to understand the basics of real estate investing. I run a course also, in case you guys are interested you can check it out. But मैं आपको अच्छा एक insightful point बताता हूँ थोड़ी maths use करके, right? So for example imagine that this is a piece of land, right? So let's imagine that this is 1000 square meter of land. अब इस पर क्या होता है, देयर इज समथिंग कॉल्ड एज FSA, राइट? FSA मीन्स कि हाउ मेनी यूनिट्स ऑफ कंस्ट्रक्शन यू कैन डू. फॉर एग्जाम्पल इन अ प्लेस वेयर आई लिव इन गोवा, द FSA इज 60% to 80%, राइट? इफ यू गो टू मुंबई देन FSA कुड बी रफली लाइक मे बी इवन 300%, कि आपने 1000 यूनिट्स का लैंड खरीदा एंड कंस्ट्रक्शन दैट यू कैन डू इज 3000 यूनिट्स. बट इन गोवा वेयर आई लिव द कंस्ट्रक्शन दैट यू कैन डू इज ओनली 60 to 80%, राइट? कि 1000 यूनिट का खरीदोगे तो 600 to 800 स्क्वायर मीटर कंस्ट्रक्शन आप कर सकते हो. This is the meaning of FSA. Now, the property prices are related directly to the land prices. ये लोगों को समझ में नहीं आती बात, right? So होता क्या है कि when you are actually going and buying apartments, तो क्या होता है उसमें कि जैसे मैं आपको गोवा का एग्जांपल देता हूँ कि फॉर एग्जांपल इफ यू आर लुकिंग टू बाय अ अपार्टमेंट इन साउथ गोवा, देन फॉर फ्लैट्स what happens is that there might be a 5-story flats, right? मैंने 10 बना दिए शायद, लेकिन आप उसको 5 मान लो. So there might be a 5-story flats, okay? And the square meter at which, square meter construction के हिसाब से जो the price point at which the builder might be selling might come out to be 65,000, right? But यहाँ पे villas जो हैं they are being sold at let's say 1.3 lakh a square meter, right? मैं आपको फिर से recap कर देता हूँ. Apartments are being sold at 65,000 a square meter and villas are being sold roughly at 1.3. आप थोड़ा बहुत 20% का वेरिएशन यहाँ पे मान लो. तो हो क्या रहा है कि अपार्टमेंट्स आर बीइंग सोल्ड एट रफली हाफ द प्राइस ऑफ विलास. अब मे बी आप बैंगलोर में रह रहे हो, मुंबई में रह रहे हो, एंड यू नो देयर इट माइट बी लाइक 1/3, something like this, 1/4, something like this. लेकिन the point is that if a 10-story building is being constructed, then ideally the selling price of that apartment compared to a villa should have been 1/10, but the price that you're getting for the apartment is 1/3. So to cut the long story short, I am helping you understand the builder math, and इसमें बहुत लंबी discussion होती है, but very quickly I hope you got the point that the price at which people are buying apartments are very expensive. यहाँ पे एक गुड़गांव में एक project आया था that is now being sold at 11 crores. Rent that you are getting is what? Rent you are getting is less than 2 lakhs. It's a horrible investment. If you are making these type of investments, you will lose money. Why are people making these type of investments? हजार reason है, but one key reason is that they don't understand the builder math. They will just buy apartment at whatever price the builder is quoting. Okay. अब क्या होता है कि if you actually go and buy villas, right? अब विला में एक ही विला है. If the land price goes up, then the villa price is likely to go up proportionally. So I hope that you got this basic math. मैं बहुत ज़्यादा डिटेल में नहीं जा रहा, but from an investment point of view, I have aggregated many villas here in Goa, which I continue to buy. Apartments में नहीं खरीदता. Apartments I only buy for consumption if I have to buy. रहना है आपने, खरीद लो अपार्टमेंट. Do not worry about it from an investment point of view. But thinking that an apartment is an investment is bad, because for that you need to understand the builder math, जो मैंने आपको समझा दी. Next comes the fourth point, and बहुत interesting point लगेगा आपको ये. This also comes from real estate, and here the fourth asset that you can buy is हाई रेंटल यील्ड अपार्टमेंट्स. अब आप बोलोगे अभी तो आपने मना किया था अपार्टमेंट मत खरीदना, अब आप बोल रहे हो अपार्टमेंट खरीद लो. नहीं, सी यार, यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड द न्यूआंसेस ऑफ थिंग्स. दैट्स हाउ यू विल मेक मनी. सो what I'm trying to say is that if you are buying an apartment, right, and if that apartment is generating, let's say today 7% yield, now is that a great apartment to buy? The short answer is absolutely 100% yes. Why is that? Because मान के चलो कि home loan is 9%, you are making a yield. Yield का मतलब होता है 1 CR का आपने अपार्टमेंट खरीदा, ईयरली रेंट यू आर मेकिंग 7 lakhs, so that gives 7% yield, and you are paying how much home loan? You are roughly paying 9 lakh rupee home loan. तो आपको इफेक्टिवली तो कितने का पड़ा? 2 लाख का पड़ा ना, राइट? सो अब होता क्या है, इन अपार्टमेंट्स टिपिकली द रेंटल यील्ड इज हाई, राइट? रेंटल यील्ड इज हाई, राइट? सो दिस इज पॉइंट 1. पॉइंट 2 is that the second part of return on your apartments come from underlying appreciation. Now किसी भी प्रॉपर्टी का appreciation 3-4% से तो हो ही जाता है, including apartment. So if your apartment is giving, let's say 7-8% yield, and if you add another 3-4% growth on it, then it becomes a 12% investment which you can finance. Because जब आप stock में पैसा डालते हो, then in order to buy 1 lakh rupee of Hindustan Unilever stock, can you get loan? No, you cannot technically get loan, right, to invest in stocks. वो लोग लोन ले लेके कर देते हैं घपलेबाजी, but technically you can't get, or rather let me qualify this statement that most people can't get a loan to invest in the stock markets, but to invest in real estate you can technically get a loan. So 12% yield generate करना, you have been able to do it using leverage. And real estate की अच्छी चीज़ ये होती है कि यार property prices even of apartment does not get crushed crazily, right? So this is the point. अब इसमें natural सवाल आता है कि यार अक्षत, यू हैव स्पोकन 7% यील्ड, कहाँ मिलती है 7% यील्ड, कहाँ मिलती है 8% यील्ड? भाई साहब, अगर आप जाके टाउनशिपों में खरीद लोगे, हु आर चूना लगाएंगे यू एंड आर सेलिंग यू अपार्टमेंट्स एट वॉट एवर क्रेजी प्राइजेस, यू हैव नो अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ हाउ टू वैल्यू एन अपार्टमेंट. आप लुट जाओगे, बर्बाद हो जाओगे, राइट? सो ऑफकोर्स पीपल आर गोइंग टू क्राई अबाउट देयर बैड एक्सपीरियंसेस. इट्स वेरी सिमिलर टू बाइंग स्टॉक्स एट क्रेजी वैल्यूएशन एंड देन पीपल क्राइंग कि यार हमने ये घटिया स्टॉक खरीद लिया, डूब गए पैसे, दिस दैट स्टफ. सी, नुकसान रियल एस्टेट में भी होता है, स्टॉक्स में भी होता है. यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड हाउ टू डू मैथमेटिक्स बिहाइंड it. If you want, I'll make more case studies. I will show you properties how they make like 7%, 8%. But one key aspect of that would be that short-term rentals should be allowed. On long-term rentals, it's very difficult for you to generate 7% yield on an apartment. मुझे पता है बहुत सारे यहाँ पे आएंगे ज्ञानी लोग, they have not invested even 5 rupees in real estate, but they will keep on crushing my arguments कि नहीं बनती yield, ये नहीं होता, वो नहीं होता, Airbnb फीस लग जाती है. भाई, I have done all the calculations, I run profitable things, I teach things practically. आपको मेरी बातें सुन के पता चल जाएगा कि अच्छा यार, इस बंदे ने एटलीस्ट इन्वेस्टमेंट तो कर रखी है. ही इज स्पीकिंग फ्रॉम प्रैक्टिकल एक्सपीरियंसेस. सो ऑलवेज लिसन टू पीपल. आई एम नॉट सेइंग दैट जस्ट ट्रस्ट मी ब्लाइंडली. Go out in the market, speak with people who have experience, who have actually invested their own money in areas they are talking about. Yeah, so that's the point. Real estate is a hyper local game. You have to understand the market really well. So develop knowledge. You can definitely scout for 7-8% yield property. Okay, so the next asset class that I'm very bullish about, I continue to invest. This has been one of my most profit generating investments, which is Bitcoin. मैं आपको पहले performance दिखा देता हूँ and लोग थोड़े से उससे वैसे miffed हो जाते हैं, right? So 6 months 138% return, 1 year 138% return, 5 year 1477% return. भाई किसी भी time frame पे Bitcoin गिरा नहीं है. It has been one of the most multi-bagger investments, I would say. look at whatever timelines. If you have held Bitcoin for the 3-year time frame without getting scared, you would have made not just money, you would have doubled, tripled your money. I purchased Bitcoin somewhere around buying price of average 12 and a half lakhs, right? Today it is at 55 lakhs. I have 2 full Bitcoins. I continue to maintain them, right? So that's the bottom line on Bitcoin. अब होता क्या है कि 2 आर्ग्यूमेंट्स निकल के आते हैं Bitcoin पे कि यार Bitcoin की कोई इनहेरेंट वैल्यू नहीं है, दिस दैट. भाई आप इंडिया से बाहर निकल के देखो तो कुछ तो देखो दुनिया, राइट? गो लिव इन कंट्रीज लाइक टर्की, spend a little bit time in Dubai. You yourself will see that there is an existing community that chooses to trust Bitcoin. Just because you don't trust it does not make Bitcoin bad. That's the bottom line. Just because I do not trust product X does not make that product X bad, right? हर किसी का अपना अपना पर्सपेक्टिव होता है, दुनिया बहुत बड़ी है, right? So people who believe in Bitcoin, they are called as Bitcoiners. They are the community supporters of Bitcoin. For them, Bitcoin holds massive value. Now, as the size of this community keeps on getting strengthened, Bitcoin will continue to go up in price. अब आप बोलोगे अच्छा कैन यू एक्सप्लेन इट बाय अनदर एग्जाम्पल. बिल्कुल, आप ऐसा मान के चलो कि बिफोर Zerodha came into the picture, it was a zero brokerage platform and it changed the game, right? It brought a lot of retail investors into the mix. So आपने सोशल मीडिया पे मेरे जैसे लोगों को आके देखा कि we started talking about stocks वगैरह वगैरह. A lot of retail participation went up. In fact, it has become the highest now. So stock is finding what? Stock is finding traction in the Indian market because ease of investing in the stock market has become super easy, convenient now, right? So वो community strengthen हो गई है. Similarly, Bitcoin की community after all the regulations वगैरह वगैरह होने के बाद गिरा वो, it came back up again. इसके लिए आप एक concept और पढ़ना जिसको halving cycle बोलते हैं, right? So you will read about it, read about the applications of Bitcoin, you will understand more. मैं और नहीं बोलता Bitcoin के बारे में because many people get a little bit miffed, but I hope you got my intent. Again, not a push that you go and invest your money in Bitcoin. All I'm encouraging you to do is learn, question everything around you. I'm encouraging you to think rationally, question everything, including me, right? So I'm not asking you to favor me just because मैं बोल रहा हूँ मान लो चीज़. Go and investigate. जो honest होता है बंदा वो आपको हमेशा encourage करेगा that you go and apply different rational thinking framework and अपने आप सोचना सीखो, right? So that's what I'm encouraging you to do. Okay, so the next point comes around migration tools. Now, what are migration tools? This is the great asset to have in your portfolio, especially if you are rich. आज मैंने LinkedIn पे पोस्ट लिखा था which went viral and मैं आपको बताता हूँ उससे, right? So for example, if I ask you that how much time would it take you to save $1 million, which comes out to be roughly 8.3 CR in India through jobs, what will be your answer? मैंने पूरी computation दिखाई है and I have proven it to you that it will take you 41.5 years at a salary level of 50 lakh. अगर आप 50 लाख रुपए साल कमाते हो in India through jobs right now, you would roughly be paying how much taxes? Roughly 35% tax आपका बनेगा. Roughly you will spend like 1 lakh a month minimum, right? So ये सब काट कूट के आपकी savings निकल के आती है yearly 20 lakhs, right? अब आप बोलोगे कि यार मैं invest कर दूंगा, I'll be able to grow my money, this that. भाई inflation भी तो होता है, right? So आप उसको nullify कर लो for ease of computation. So आपको कट कुटा के सब कुछ मिला मिलू के आगे निकल के आएगा 41.5 years it will take you to get to 8.3 CR. Okay, now comes the natural question कि यार अक्षत आप बोलते हो कि you know what, if I'm in college or if I'm a youngster, you have always encouraged people to go abroad and work. Why? Now do the same computation for someone working in Dubai. Okay, so how much time do you think they would take to get to a $1 million saving? बताओ आप लोग मेरे को बताओ, राइट? यू गाइस कैन कमेंट इन दी कमेंट बॉक्स एंड लेट मी नो, एंड दिस इज अगेन अ थॉट एक्सरसाइज. डेफिनेटली लेट मी नो द आंसर इन द कमेंट सेक्शन. नाउ आई विल स्पीक अ लेवल अप हियर कि आगे चल के डू यू थिंक दैट गोइंग फॉरवर्ड इन द फ्यूचर 5-10 years down the line, do you think that this situation is going to change? According to me, the short answer is no. Why? Because governments are becoming more and more reckless with their spending. A. B. The debt repayment. अभी तो डेट तो बहुत ज़्यादा है ही दुनिया पे. इट्स वी आर सिटिंग ऑन हाईएस्ट एवर डेट लेवल्स. उस पे देर इज अ रीपेमेंट दैट इज गोइंग टू हैपन. सो हु डू यू थिंक इज गोइंग टू पे फॉर ऑल दिस? वेल, इंक्रीज टैक्सेशन इज गोइंग टू पे फॉर ऑल दिस. एंड व्हाट इज द सिचुएशन इन इंडिया? दैट इफ द टैक्सेशन, बी इट डायरेक्ट टैक्सेशन और इनडायरेक्ट टैक्सेशन, if it keeps on going up, your savings rate will get hurt. So therefore, going forward, one of the best assets to own would be global mobility or mobility tools. कि जहाँ पे आपके पास पैसा है, lot of countries are selling citizenship, selling PR residencies or whatever it is. I'm not encouraging you to go, guys. I'm just simply telling you what options are there. So ये नहीं कि यार अक्षत को टैग कर दिया ED department के साथ and all that stuff. Please don't do all that nonsense. I am speaking in your favor. The bottom line here is that if you are a youngster watching this video and if you have an option of going and working abroad, please do. There is no harm there. You can always come back to India, contribute to nation building. I was working abroad. I came back to India and started working here. So that's not a problem at all. But what I'm encouraging you to think is that hit this $1 million mark, this will change your life. And if you can do it before like 40, 45, 50 years old, then definitely you can utilize that money in a better fashion. Okay, so the next asset class that I will speak about is gold. Right now, gold is at a very interesting pivot. In the last 4.5, 5 years, it has doubled. This has been a very good bull run for gold. A lot of people have made money through gold investing. I have not directly invested in gold. I am not a gold bug, so to say. I rather invest in Bitcoin. But gold is again an asset where a lot of trust already is, right? So that's a good thing about gold, that it's very trust based assets. It has limited supply, etc, etc. A problem क्या होती है कि gold, people have started to confuse gold with derivatives. Now derivatives are instruments that have been derived from the original product. So for example, gold is the original product and derivative of gold will be sovereign gold bond. जैसे आप sovereign gold bond खरीदते हो तो यार उसका कोई आप यूज थोड़ी है पर से, right? It's just a guarantee from the nation that okay आपने sovereign gold bond खरीद लिया है and therefore the government will pay you money in timely manner वगैरह वगैरह and tax rebate वगैरह आपको मिल जाएगी. Now people get very enticed. Now देखो यार boss, I have to buy gold, so why should I not buy SGB? SGB में तो दुनिया भर के advantages भी हैं. See guys, you need to understand something, right? That take the story of 1000 rupee note, right? And just zoom in and see what has been written there. It says that I promise to pay the bearer a sum of 1000 rupee note. Now this was the promise that was made on that 1000 rupee note. अब मान के चलो आपको कमरे में कहीं मिला हुआ, कहीं दबा कुचला नोट मिला फॉर 1000 रुपी. यू वेंट टू द बैंक टुडे एंड सेड यू नो व्हाट, दिस इज अ प्रॉमिस दैट गवर्नमेंट हैड डन, नाउ गिव मी लाइक 500 के 2 नोट्स. डू यू थिंक दैट यू आर गोइंग टू गेट एनीथिंग? नो, भगा देंगे आपको कि डिमोनेटाइजेशन में क्यों लाइन में लग के चेंज नहीं किया आपने. ओके, देन यू आस्क अ सिंपल क्वेश्चन कि यार बॉस यू हैव रिटर्न की ओके दिस promises to pay me like 1000 rupee. You never nowhere written that I have to get in line one day. You should have made the promise absolutely clear. The point I'm trying to make is that retrospectively a lot of things can be changed, including on sovereign gold bond. So if you're looking to buy gold, which I feel is a good asset, there is nothing wrong with gold, buy gold. Do not confuse it. Similarly, do not confuse real estate की जगह 500 रुपए में real estate खरीद लेते हैं, we will buy like some REITs product, this that. भाई दुनिया भर के झमेले हैं उसमें. Who is managing the REITs? Are they collecting money in white or black? Are they doing shady stuff, not shady stuff? Real estate anyways is a hyper opaque segment in India. Hardly any information is there on real estate. लोगों का लैंड लूट के भाग जाते हैं and what not. दुनिया भर की चीज़ें होती रहती है, पोजेशन नहीं मिलता आपको. So it's just like I don't get it. If you actually want to put your trust on the government, put it in the stock markets, because अगर stock market absolute डिब्बा हो गया, Nifty 50 I'm speaking about, not individual stocks. Nifty 50 is a much better product. अगर आपने गवर्नमेंट पे भरोसा करनी है, गवर्नमेंट really cares about GDP and GDP has a very strong correlation with the market growth on Nifty 50. अगर नीचे गिर गया मार्केट तो गवर्नमेंट की प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगी. तो निफ्टी 50 इज़ नॉट एन इंस्ट्रूमेंट जहाँ पे वो कॉन्स्टेंटली नीचे गिरा सकते हैं. देयर विल बी ह्यूज लॉस और पर्सनल लॉस टू द गवर्नमेंट ओनली, राइट, इन दैट सिनारियो. सो देयरफॉर रादर देन पुटिंग माई मनी इन SGB, आई वुड रादर पिक निफ्टी 50 बिकॉज बोथ आर गवर्नमेंट बैक्ड. ये पॉइंट समझ लेना, थोड़ी पढ़ाई कर लेना. दिस इज एब्सोल्युटली क्रिटिकल फॉर यू टू अंडरस्टैंड. सो टू कट द लॉन्ग स्टोरी शॉर्ट, आई फील दैट गोल्ड इज अ सॉलिड एसेट अगेन ड्यू टू द एग्जैक्ट सेम रीजन्स व्हाई बिटकॉइन इज अ सॉलिड एसेट. You have to see this in the light that Russia has been kicked out of the international SWIFT system, जिसको बोला जाता है, which is a US controlled system. So they started transferring a lot of their money or US money that they had, a US dollar, into gold, so to say. So gold की buying बहुत है, gold की real buying बहुत है और real gold की buying बहुत है, and therefore gold will continue to remain a strong asset. It can see a phase where it is just going flat line, but net it's a solid asset and more money the government prints and more money the government is reckless with कि ये बना देते हैं, मूर्तियाँ गाड़ देते हैं, whatever stuff that is unproductive spend. आप उसमें feasibility analysis करा लो ना. लोग मेरे पीछे पड़ जाते हैं कि यार आप मूर्ति के बारे में बोल देते हो. भाई देखो, in India right now IT graduates are not getting jobs. So do you think that money should rather be spent on productive initiatives that will actually be the sustainable employment generating things or setting the political narratives? You guys make a pick. I will just end the conversation there. But the more reckless the government is in terms of its spending, right, the more fixed assets like gold or land will go up, right? So that brings me to the land also, but मैं इस पे ज़्यादा बात नहीं करता कि land भी एक अच्छा asset है which you could consider. Then comes the next set of business in India which are called as cash flow firms. आपने सुना होगा profit के बारे में, revenue के बारे में, but cash flows क्या होते हैं, right? And why are cash flows important? See guys, basically what happens is that, for example, if I'm running a small mid cap company, then you might be seeing very good revenues that my company is making. फिर एक्सपेंस निकाल के मेरे क्या बन जाते हैं, मेरे बन जाते हैं प्रॉफिट्स. अब होता क्या है कि यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड कैश फ्लोज ऑल्सो, क्योंकि कई बार क्या किया जाता है दैट दिस प्रॉफिट दैट हैज़ बीन जनरेटेड इज नॉट री इन्वेस्टेड सेंसिबली इन टू द फर्म. इट इज़ स्पेंड अगेन ऑन यूजलेस एक्सपेंसिव, कि भाई साहब प्रमोटर ने कार खरीदी मर्सिडीज बेंज और वटेवर, राइट, और 50 कारें उन्होंने लगा दी हैं, आप फालतू का खर्चा कर दिया. होता है ऐसी चीज़ों में, राइट. सो देयरफॉर इट इज़ वेरी क्रिटिकल टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट व्हाट आर क्लीन फर्म्स, हाउ आर दे रोटेटिंग प्रॉफिट्स, वेदर फॉर प्रोडक्टिव और अनप्रोडक्टिव स्पेंड्स, वेदर प्रमोटर्स आर क्लीन और नॉट, एंड दैट कैन बी एनालाइज बाय लुकिंग एट द कैश फ्लो स्टेटमेंट्स मेनी अ टाइम. सो वो कैसे करा जाता है मैं आपको वो भी बता देता हूँ कि फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर आप कोई एक स्मॉल फर्म का एग्जाम्पल लो, फाइन ऑर्गेनिक का लेते हैं, यहाँ पे यू गो एंड चेक द कैश फ्लो स्टेटमेंट्स. अब इसमें क्या है कि आप है ना ये पहली दो जो लाइंस हैं इनको ऐड कर दो, राइट, 98 93. तो दिस कम्स आउट टू बी अ पॉजिटिव नंबर. देन यहाँ पे 2020 में अगेन पॉजिटिव नंबर, दिस इज पॉजिटिव नंबर, 2022 में इट्स पॉजिटिव नंबर, 2023 में इट्स पॉजिटिव नंबर. सो यहाँ पे पॉजिटिव आ रहा है ना पहली दो चीज़ों को ऐड करके. That's a good healthy sign, right? So that's one way of checking whether the cash flow statements are clean or not. मैं ओवर सिंप्लीफाई करके बता रहा हूँ, more nuances are there, but अब हर कोई अकाउंटेंट तो बन नहीं सकता. आई एम जस्ट ट्राइंग टू प्रेजेंट अ ब्रॉड पिक्चर. सो इससे आपको आइडिया लग जाएगा कि अच्छा नेट थिंग इज राइट और नॉट. ओके, बहुत सारी फर्म्स में आपको ये कंसिस्टेंटली नेगेटिव नंबर मिलता है, राइट. तो विच इज़ अ प्रॉब्लम. सो ट्राई टू अवॉइड दोज टाइप ऑफ फर्म्स. So I have cash flow firms in my portfolio. So then comes the final point. What is the 10th asset I have in my portfolio? It is a small business. So I have created multiple 0 to 1 type of businesses. See, in India में होता क्या है कि इंडिया में the personal taxation is very very high and corporate taxation is low. जैसे कि कोई कंपनी का प्रमोटर है, so they might be paying 25% tax, but the CEO who might be a salaried person, उस salary पे that CEO might be paying like 40% plus tax. Why? Because in India, the personal income tax is much higher than corporate income tax. In Dubai or in many other countries, that's the opposite situation. That personal income taxes are less and corporate income taxes are high. So in order to solve that problem, what you can do is that you can start learning a little bit more about designing, developing businesses. क्योंकि जैसे आपको GST रिबेट वगैरह मिलती है, if you are owning a business, small business भी own करते हो तो भी GST रिबेट मिलती है, you can reclaim GST. लेकिन if you are a job goer, now I am not trying to criticize job goers, right? What I am trying to tell you is that I am trying to encourage you to think about starting a business, learn more about money, be smart, because होता क्या है कि if you are just doing a job forever, then can you ever reclaim GST on majority of the things or majority of the expenses? The short answer is no. So that becomes a problem, right? And GST or indirect taxation is very very high in India. So ये सारी चीज़ें हैं which are actually assets according to me, and if you take care of these assets, your life will change. I hope that you enjoyed this conversation and this video. If you did, do press the like button. Next, I will encourage you to learn how celebrities invest their money smartly. This again will give you a lot of insights on how smart money is managed. So go and check it out.